Of all the damage wrought by Sandy, these images are among those that stand out the most for so many Americans.
Everywhere you look, black, wreckage, smoldering.
I gotta get out of this, hang on.
Hurricane Sandy was, from my perspective, devastating. I remember being at home and watching Brian Williams on NBC News, and he was doing an overview for about an hour. I think it was Tuesday night, and he was showing pictures of Lower Manhattan, the Jersey Shore, showing where his house is in Point Pleasant, and how everything was just devastated. And my first thought was, how are we going to come back for this? And I said, this is worse than Katrina.
Well, the first reaction was surprise, because we haven't really seen the results that we saw this time with any other storm in the past, at least in my lifetime. And of course, the other major reaction was concern for the people whose lives were disrupted, either through lost power or a tree falling down, or the poor folks that lost their homes.
55 Water Street was surreal. There was, no power in the building. It was dark. The smell of diesel fumes from the generators was heavy in the air. From a safety perspective, we were worried about the air quality, and you can imagine. I anticipated the branch being a complete loss, which when we got there, we needed to salvage certain items.
A couple updates. We have, just from a housekeeping perspective, I know Joy's been calling down the list of where food's available, gas, hotels are tough to come by. So we have that list working. We have lunch coming in for everyone. I know heat's an issue in the building, so Rodney is trying to strategically, get you to place your heaters. So if you're hoarding heaters, you can share with a friend. That'd be great. We got 1221 open, so there's Tracy.
Open. 210 is open.
Tracy and Crystal are at 1221.
Tracy, Crystal, and Christine are at 1221. Gavin and Julian are at 210.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
As in any situation like that, you first assess, and then you take things hour by hour, and then you start to expand those hourly assessments. And as you delegate the work across the organization, you realize, okay, certain things are in place and other things need greater attention. So we had a process here in the office where we would meet twice a day, 9:30 and 1 o'clock every day, everyone who was here, so that we can departmentally share what was in process, what was resolved, what needed to be resolved. And it was a daily town hall type meeting where things were just called out as we were going down the list of items, so that everyone could be aware of what's transpired.
I think the biggest challenge was to be able to continue to satisfy our members' needs for transactions without direct power and without phone lines. Our communication lines were down, so we scrambled, we met, we put our heads together and found workarounds, including the use of cell phones and the internet, and we're able to process transactions all through the storm and the aftermath.
I think we're doing better today than we were yesterday. Those on the phone agree from that perspective. So we'll work to make some revisions there. I know Asia and team just thank you.
We made some short-term decisions to see how bad the storm was going to be, and did we need to move to a disaster recovery plan. And when we did do that, it took us a lot of time and effort, but we were able to get all our systems up and running with our hot site over in Philadelphia, and we got all our services up for our members in record time, in my opinion. And we've gotten a lot of great feedback from the members who walked in the branches, who called us, thanking us for being open from the day after the hurricane, extended hours, all the things we did for them.
The most important thing was that every conversation, every meeting, Every phone call started out with concern for the individual employee and the member. Are you okay? Do you have power? Is there anything we can do for you? And to me, that was, I think, the approach that that the credit union took. And if our folks, really weren't whole, then it was going to be difficult for them to reach out and help our members. That being a part of an organization that thinks that way and looks out for individuals first is something that makes me very proud.
One of the stories that came from the membership was we had a member that lived in Linden, right in the Raritan Valley, and she was impacted, and she tried to go to a shared branch location and tried several ATMs in the area, could not get cash. And we ended up hiring a taxi cab for her and driving her into Manhattan because we knew that our branch location at 2 Penn was up and running and she could get what she needed because she didn't have heat, she didn't have power, and she needed that money in order to take care of her family. So little things, little stories like that, continue to pop up as people have been recovering from the storm.
Just on that note, we have plenty of cash. We had our cash delivery yesterday.
Yep.
Also in the branches today, so we should be in good shape.
The branches are using their iPads and cell phones to allow members to use online banking and do deposits if they have checks. So if members don't have internet access at home and they're close to one of the branches, they can go there to use, our devices for online banking.
Okay, great.
I think we recognize at this point in time the value of social media. People had access to a smartphone and they could get out to the internet. They may not be able to reach us on our direct dial phone number, and our 800 number was overwhelmed. But they could reach us on our Facebook page and get an update, see where we are, see what pieces of our business have been, restored.
Whatever it takes, that's what's important, and our members respect that. And I think the next few days we're going to continue to make further progress and get ourselves back to normal.
The investment of our culture as an organization and recognizing what our mission is to help our members. It's points in time like this that allows our staff to come together as a team, and we've been making an investment over the past few years in the cultural development of our organization and helping people understand what it is to be part of a team. There's one member of our staff that's been battling cancer, and it's been cold in the office, and she said she'd rather be here with us in the moment, sharing in the experience, than be at home where she had power and heat and all the comforts of home. And I take solace in that because I recognize that the investment that we're making in our staff to deliver service to our membership, it continues to show up in so many different ways. And commitments like that individual, it's really important to me, and it helps me understand how we can deliver as a mission-driven organization and what we can do better as an organization as we go forward. And I think our members have been well served during this period of transition with Hurricane Sandy.
McGraw-Hill Federal Credit Union, really, our plans were good. We worked through what we had documented and what we had foreseen. You can't foresee everything. We never foresaw that this hurricane would be so devastating that all our primary systems would be offline to us also. Our communications, where we use Verizon and Comcast as our primary and backup systems, neither one of them were available. We didn't know how long the power was going to be out here in East Windsor, where everything's being driven from. And New York City was just, you didn't know what was up and what was down from 1 minute to the next. But I think our plans were solid, so I think following those plans, I feel good about the end results that happened.
Within Operation Outreach, what's happening right now is that we're making phone calls, just making sure that those members have been displaced, they know how to access us, they know about our hurricane relief products that we have out there, the things that we can do for them. So, really appreciate the FSC's business development, the teller team in New York kind of rallying around that. I think it's presenting some really great opportunities, and at the pinnacle of that effort is really the goodwill that we're creating and the relationships that we're developing with those members as we go forward with that effort.
There's always a feeling of camaraderie when people tough it out and go through a difficult situation, and I think certainly that feeling of camaraderie is evident in the credit union and the employees that all worked really hard toward a common goal of satisfying members in a very difficult time. And there's some success and some celebration, I think, that that will result from that, because in general we didn't really miss a beat.